Hello everybody, it is me Catfist, and yeah, we're back. Real quick, I just want to say when it comes to chapter readings, I suck at being consistent. I apologize for that. And I will be better at this. I'll be better at uploading chapters. Not reviews, but chapters. Because they're fun to read. I don't hate them. I don't hate them. I just want to make clear I don't hate reading. I hate reading. But I do like the stories. And I don't remember what happened in the last chapter, if I'm being honest. So this is all new to me. This will all be new to me. I got no idea. Chapter 3, year 15. Summary? Come here. I'll show you how they fuck people over in this game. Naruto nearly fell off the counter. He was so quick in an instant. He was by Sasuke's side. He didn't touch him, but he looked at their arms, inches from each other. So if my memory serves, I'm pretty sure chapter 2 was Naruto going back to see Sasuke in the game, and Naruto, I think, lost, and Sasuke helped him or just gave him the thing and told him it's rigged. If I remember correctly, I could be wrong. But when I upload this, I'll have already uploaded chapter 2, so you guys, you'll know better than me. I don't remember the voice, so we'll make up a voice. This week has been busy and horrible, but I finished and edited this anyway, because Naruto deserves it. The Monopoly board went flying as Ino's knees bumped the coffee table violently. She stood up with a screech, and everybody jumped. You cheated! Shikamaru sighed, thumbing through his money, multicolored paper wings flapping away. I didn't cheat, woman. I'm just good at this game, he told her in a way that let Naruto know she'd been told many times before. Ino just stomped her foot, and she'd been mad earlier, too, because the extreme heat of that summer was making her hair fizz up. It's making her hair rizz up. A summer like no other, is what the weatherman said, and has been shaping up to be just so. Ocean View is experiencing higher temperatures that it felt like the last 10 years and its citizens were freaking baking. So this is the, put it, I guess here. This is the song cam, so now you can see what song is playing. Carousel. Is that in the way? Try to figure it out. There was at least one fan in every room, and all of Naruto's friends had yelled at him when he unplugged the one to charge his phone. What type of outlet only has one plug? It died that day, which it rarely did. When it powered back on, Haruka was there, and several texts that increased in anxiety. The first was general worry, but by the last, it seemed like Haruka was under the impression Naruto had been kidnapped, murdered, or kidnapped and then murdered. And Naruto had only been on the phone for less than a few hours. Had only been phoneless for a few hours. It's the heat. He said to his dad over the phone. He smiled because he sounded like a citizen of Ocean View. That's what everyone said around there. It's the heat, running late, or being mean, or slamming fingers in the car doors. It's all because of that damn heat. I swear you cheated. Stand up. Are you hiding something under your legs? Shikamaru fixed her with a lazy glare. Couldn't be bothered to. Sakura stood up instead and patted Ino's shoulder, coaxing her back into her spot on the couch. It was the one that dipped right in the middle deeply, like a shallow grave. Shikamaru told her the first time he sat there. Naruto just didn't like it because it smelled like mothballs. Everything in Sakura's house was either brand new or very old. He leaned back in his armchair and he curled up on. The ceiling fan was free of dust and whirled quietly. The ceiling fan above had a long crack that Sakura said her dad was going to fix, but it had been 2 years since then. Naruto lifted the collar of his shirt up, hoping to get some cool air on his chest. This paper money could probably stick right into his skin. He didn't mind the weather nearly as much as the rest of his friends, but it was getting beyond hot, and the feeling of sweat trickling down his back or sunburns were the worst part. There wasn't a single thing on Earth that would enjoy time spent in a furnace. He groaned, pushing his blonde hair back off his face. Doesn't matter. Can we just go outside? I'm dying. To his right, Choji nodded, face blotchy, and he didn't complain about the heat, or about anything usually, but Naruto knew he'd rather be waddling in cool water. Oh no falls under, make it feel right. Oh no. Sorry. Up the hill, just too heavy to hold on. Sorry. I'm so sorry. We're gonna cut this. It's gonna get caught. Sorry. Yeah, we should probably stop playing the game this way. Shikamaru always wins. Shikamaru could only shrug. It was true. Ino stomped to the door, but she was really mad. It was that way with friends. You could tease and be teased and not be mad. Naruto hadn't experienced that with people his age before. Sakura and her bunch. I have a hair that's on my eye and it's killing me. Oh, I used to say I would never find. Naruto hadn't experienced that with people his age and Sakura and her bunch after his first year of high school. Life had gotten easier. Nobody cared as much what Naruto looked like or the score he got. Nobody cared if he tapped his feet. He wasn't sure at first if he liked that part of high school before his classmates looked at him and didn't like what they saw. In high school, nobody looked at him at all. Is it like confirmed in this fic that he has like ADHD or something? Because he's so ADHD coded. As a character in general, but also in this fic, he's very ADHD coded. Just because his quirks were ignored by his peers didn't mean he was a teacher's pet by any means. When Naruto looked at one page too long, the words started to crawl and heave themselves across the page until it was one big writing mess. Then he'd start moving, chewing pencils to the bone and shaking his legs. His teacher would look up from the desk and look up at his desk at him, body working and glare. Can help it. You just described me reading this. One of the teachers suggested he should channel his energy into something, anything like sports, he offered. So Naruto joined the cross-country team. And since everything else seemed expensive, he thought running was okay. But the wind picking up always reminded him of the ocean. Just because his quirks were ignored by his peers didn't mean he was a teacher's pet by any means. One of the teachers suggested... Okay. He's wearing his shorts black and blue. His school colors, they were slightly too small for him. So I was making his thighs stick, and they were pressed together, separating them like Velcro. Oh, and then you get like what is it called? You get like a rug burn or whatever it's called from it. That shit is ass. That shit's ass. I hate shorts for that reason. I don't wear. I fucking hate shorts more than anything. I will never wear shorts. That's such a I don't know why. That's a super sensory thing. That with like a collared t-shirt, can't do it. Can't do it. Everyone followed Ino out, who already had her bike, and she looked like she was at the mall. I don't know what's going on, but I can't like. She looked like an ad at the mall. Poised with her sticker-covered bike, her shirt was just a purple swimsuit, and her denim shorts were probably smaller than Naruto's. Her sneakers were pure white like her teeth, and her ponytail had only gotten longer and more blonde as he'd known her. Sakura ran her bike next, ramming into Ino with an abandoned, and Ino's with abandoned. Ino went from picture lower... Sakura ran her bike ramming into a magazine scene was gone. Ino went from picture of lower middle class luxury to a grizzly bear, growling fiercely at Sakura, kicking her tire away with one flip-flop foot. The carnival was still an hour or so from opening, so they raced to Cobalt Beach, and the last one had to shove a seaweed into their swimsuit. Naruto had done it before, and he had to admit he wasn't looking for a repeat performance. He led the way, laughing as Ino was right on his trail. He knew the way by heart. Learn how to read by heart. Bitch! Shikamaru came in last. Of course he did. He didn't think anyone was going to hold him to it, but once they sunk their feet in the sand, 4 pairs of eyes stared him down. I thought you guys are fucking kidding, he insisted, putting a hand to shield his eyes from the sun. You weren't kidding when I had to do it, said Naruto. Well, you weren't kidding when I had to do it. That's a slatch. I said innocently. They followed Shikamaru. Oh, Shikamaru, you better get seaweeded. Shikamaru in line and marched to the gallows. Ready Able is really good by Grizzly Bear. The ocean waves crashed in before them, a pure blue like the sky arching its back above it. The tide was far out, leaving plenty of piles, jellyfish and sand dollars, and sometimes mostly seaweed. Ino pointed at what looked like a huge lump of soggy spinach. Shikamaru poked at it with his foot and let out a wet squelch, his nose scrunched up. Do I really have to? One last plea, but it was drowned out by the waves of their communal communal 15-year-old thirst to see their friends do foolish things. And even Choji was biting his lip, trying not to laugh. Shikamaru could fall to his knees begging and promising and forcing tears. There's no mercy here. He seemed to sense that. Shikamaru sighed, muttering something, then leaned down. His swim trunks were light green, like dummy apple rings, while the seaweed were much darker and murky hued from the depths of the sea. They were the same color, and yet they clashed. Shikamaru grabbed a handful, tugged on his waistband, and shoved it down his shorts. The crowd went wild. Sakura started laughing first, looking at Shikamaru's uncharacteristically contorted face, and then started snorting when he didn't a strange tap dance in the hot sand. Seaweed dropped from his legs, and Ino was laughing too. So hard she wasn't making any noise, just wheezing. She sagged into Choji's arms, his face turning beet red. His efforts to stay silent. Naruto himself was crying. Shikamaru is usually so composed and never spoke without calculation. But there's nothing funnier than seeing him being so undone by a handful of sea leaves. He jumped up and down, laughing at Shikamaru, who was rooting around in his trunks, trying to get it all out. "How does it feel?" he asked, and Shikamaru gave him a look. Naruto knew full well what it felt like to have kept down his pants, cold and slimy and just wrong. It reminded him of the Halloween party he'd ever been to. The only Halloween party he'd ever been to. Someone blindfolded him, put his hand in a bowl of peeled grapes, and Naruto had known there weren't actually eyeballs, obviously. The sensation made him shiver anyway. However, it was just something he shouldn't be feeling. So my eyes can do their thing. Shikamaru flicked one of the pieces at Naruto, who pretended to gag. "This is in your pants, don't throw it at me." And once that was out of the way, and tears of laughter had dried, they were free to tumble around the beach. Ino and Shikamaru laid out in the sand. Naruto wished he could take a picture. They were lying side by side in the exact position. Their chins were on their folded arms, with ponytails pointing at the sky like twins. Sakura wanted to run around the surf. That's such a good song. Icarus by Tony. Naruto wished he could take a picture, and they were laying side by side in the same position. Sakura wanted to run around in the surf. She liked making a big stomping footprints and then watch the beach fill them back in. "Like I was never here," she told him brightly, and then sped away, looping at figure eights and chasing the leaves, letting them chase her back. Naruto stayed close to the water. Too. It was still sweltering after all, and the occasional sprays helped him cool. He and Choji had pulled big smooth sticks from piles of driftwood that separated the sands of the beach from the town beyond it. The game was tic-tac-toe, but with a twist. I know why my nose is stuffy. Sorry. If you heard that song. Am I up? With a twist, they run around in the wet sand, trading turns and recording points. Whenever a particularly big wave came, rolling in like a storm with a sea foam clouds, they stepped back, letting the hurricane wipe their games away. Whoever had the most points then was allowed to splash water at the other. It was a dumb game, kind of, but it kept them cool. And soon Sakura ran over, tackling Choji into the waves, and then it was over. Everyone was splashing each other, throwing seaweed, and Naruto caught a mouthful of salt. Yeah, good fun. But even that was good. He just spit it back, and the ocean took it. And the water flowing out of his body was simply a second skin. What? It was then that Sakura got the idea to dump water in Ino as she slept. Oh, that is fun. Sand water in your hair. And sand. Man. That would get a big laugh out of me. They asked a kid building a sandcastle if they could borrow his bucket for a minute, and he had one tooth missing and said, "Yeah, sure, mister, but that's gonna cost you 7 coins. 7 shekels. But they had to bring it back, Sakura promised him. They filled it up to the brim with water. They tugged the sand. They tugged it up. What? They tugged it up. They tugged it up the sand to where the pair were laying. Choji poked Shikamaru with his foot, and then put a finger to his lips. Shikamaru caught on quickly, like he always did. Silently rolled away once he was out of the splash zone. He gave a thumbs up. Ino was not happy with them. But then the carnival was open, and Ino waiting while air dried. Anyone who tried to talk to her, she gave looks dirtier than the inside of Araka's. Araka? Who the fuck is Araka? Then Aruka's microwave the day Naruto decided to see what happened if he heated up cornflakes. What happens if you heat up cornflakes? Oh, fortunately his spoon was still in the bowl. Oh, that makes sense. Why would you try to heat up cornflakes? I was a gross kid. You know what I would do? I would put like cornflakes in a bowl and I would fill it up with milk. And I would wait for it to become this soupy mess. And I would eat it like that. I cannot, by the way, nowadays, I cannot stand wet cereal like that. Like, I don't mind my cereal in milk, but I cannot stand if it gets soggy. Soggy cereal. Fucking hell. Fucking hell. But you know what, man? It's me. That was when I was a kid. I was like this. Little dumb little kid. Fortunately, his spoon was in a bowl. Sometimes Naruto knew why his dad sent him 5 messages a day to check in on him. Naruto was tapping his feet, willing Ino's long hair to have mercy on him. And dry. He was ready to go to carnival again. He was excited, like always. A good sick feeling. Naruto could never be tired of it, because it was endless. There's no way he could try everything in one visit, or 2, or 3. On top of that, it was always changing. The carnival would twist his memories into a kaleidoscope. I'm just trying to think of kaleidoscope eyes, whatever. It didn't hit. Sorry, Michael Jackson, I love you more than life. Sorry if I sound like nasally more than usual. I don't know. He's excited. The carnival would showing him something new every time. He liked that. He was changing too. There's one thing he hoped hadn't changed, however. Certain ring toss down. In the dark part of the boardwalk, the dark boy who lived there. He goes there and it's like a black guy. You're the wrong dark guy. Naruto's never gone back to that instead. Naruto felt stupid about it because he was 15 now, but shoved in the bottom of his suitcase was a frog Sasuke had given him, bug-eyed and smiling. Naruto kept his other frog things on his dresser. It wasn't green like all the others, but orange instead, his favorite color. But it stood out. Naruto would catch himself staring at it, and it reminded him of his potential hard work, of what he could do if he put his mind to it. And then he noticed the blushing, the 2 big circles on his cheeks. And his thoughts would freeze. A deer in pink headlights. Looks like you, Sasuke had said. After that, he looked at the frog and didn't think about winning. He thought about Sasuke. Him reaching up his arms to find the stuffed animal, black hair falling away from his face. Naruto tried not to dwell on the frog too much. Finally, Ino was ready to go, though she was still acting like they dumped chemical waste on her face instead of water. She glared at their accomplice, the kid with the bucket, even after Sakura reminded her that he was like 5. And Naruto and his friends stood up, shaking their sand off their bodies, and even though they'd still be dusted with it the rest of the day. From Cobalt Beach, it was just a short path to the boardwalk, and there were a bigger stretch of sand laying right in front of the boardwalk. But Cobalt Beach was quieter, and all around better. It had driftwood, caves, and a path leading up to the big cliff where you could see the ocean all the way until it drops off at the edge of the horizon. They walked through the gate at a Cobalt Beach. Open but closed to dusk as they walked past their bikes, and were somehow always relieved to see they're still there, even though they locked them up right. Sakura did a cartwheel on the way, which Naruto didn't know how to do, but tried anyway. Everyone laughed, including him. And then they were back. Ocean View Carnival. Lovely and beloved. There were some things they had to do first. Get tickets and buy trashy food. Ride all the new rides and then sit in silence and try not to cough up the trashy food. And then repeat it all over again. I remember I was at a boardwalk at the beach, and I was with my ex-friend. And me and her were getting food. It was sketchy as shit. First of all, we got approached by a real sketchy guy who had a... Now, I'm not saying he's lying, but it was just weird. Where he said, my daughter has cancer, yada, yada, yada. He's selling incense and cologne or some shit. And I was like, okay, whatever. I bought one. Because first of all, he just came right up to me and kind of blocked my path from moving forward. So I couldn't like walk past, act like I didn't see him. He literally got in your face and was saying the story. And my friend kept walking on, and I saw two guys who looked kind of sketchy that were walking around her. And I was like, and they had the same like sort of, I don't know if they had the same clothes on or not. But it was weird. The whole thing was weird. Vibes are off. Vibes are not it. So I'm looking over, I'm like checking to see if she's all right, like constantly, and talking to this guy. And I'm not trying to spend any money, but I was like, well, okay, whatever, I'll buy some. So I went and bought some at whatever. I don't know how that shit was gonna go if I said no. What if he said, all right, boys, get her. And they'd fucking kidnap her or some shit, you know? Then I'm hoed, you know? Then she's hoed. We're both hoed. It was sketched out. But anyway, went and bought food. Fucking Highway. I thought we were gonna get robbed there. No, we got robbed at the fucking food station. They had talked about I was so mad that she spent money on this because it was so ass. It was the middest food ever. It was like chicken tenders, some fries, and some other thing. All of which maybe at max $30. She paid almost $80 for. She paid almost $80 for, bro. I was beyond mad. I was so done with that beach. From that experience and then that one, I was done. I was like, all right, I'm about ready to go home. Because that was the worst experience I've ever had. I never went back there. I told you, restaurants and me don't mix. Sorry. It's me. If you don't know by now, I rant, I ramble. That's just me. There are some things they have to do first. Get tickets, buy trashy food, ride all the rides, sit in silence, try not to cough up the trashy food, and then repeat it all over again. The only thing Naruto didn't like about the carnival is the time that seemed to fly by. He'd seen it in the distance, the fun he'd have there, and then it was zooming by, leaving him in the dust. He only wanted to taste the linger in his mouth, for his body to sink into the carnival, and that wasn't how it worked. Just not how it worked. Naruto would take what he could get. Is it bad I'm one of those people that likes to film a lot? Like when I go out with friends, I like to film a lot because I like memories. Like if I I'm not even joking. There are I think at the very least 50 gigabytes worth of videos with me and my best friend playing shit or reacting to shit. I don't post them just because half the time, they're just memories. They're just talks and memories. That's it. That's the only reason. It's the only reason I have them. Sometimes I only record it simply for the fact of I just want this memory to be there. Also, could it be a game could it be something I upload later? Sure. But right now, no. It's just simple memory because I hate editing. You know I hate editing. That's why I don't upload at all. I hate editing. Shit's a pain in the ass to sit through your own video and listen to yourself. It's fucking annoying. Alright. The only thing Naruto did... The sky changed from blue to orange to purple to black. The street lamps flicked on. And Naruto was finally able to escape Sakura, tugging on his arm. He didn't want to tell anybody where he was going. Sakura didn't like Sasuke much anymore, and Naruto didn't want to be teased. Not about this. He didn't know why, but he wasn't sure he could handle things. Ino would say. At the very least, he had no desire to test himself. Yeah, that makes sense. It never occurred to him that someone else might be running the stand. As he peered down the boardwalk expecting to see a familiar figure glued to his phone, but instead saw no one. Naruto blinked. He walked closer, worn sneakers making barely any noise on the wood. Sakura had said the year before that she was surprised that they still had the ring toss. It didn't seem very popular. He agreed. There's still lights and prizes, so must be someone else. and Naruto was getting closer before coming to an abrupt halt. Sasuke was there. He hadn't noticed before, but because Sasuke was wearing all black again, his uniform, he was just one shadow among the many. The dark creeped Naruto out, but Sasuke was bathing in it, engulfed in gloom, teasing the fingertips of a brilliant flare of light. The grasp of the carnival that held Naruto so tightly. Damn, I hate this. Gosh darn mouse. I should have bought a new one long ago. You know what it was? My dumbass. I'm talking so much in this. Sorry. I like talking, okay? I like talking to you guys. But you don't want to hear. You're not here for this. He had been hard to spot because he wasn't moving. His head was looking upward at the moon that was going to be full soon. Still, it was bright in the sky. Precious jewel. It looked precious to Sasuke, anyway. His gaze was intense. This gaze was intense. There was an affection in it that made Naruto's eyes go wide. Sasuke opened his mouth slightly. What was he saying to him? The man on the moon, Naruto wanted to know. But he was intruding. He knew he was. It felt something like an inside joke and something he wasn't part of. So he backed away. First slowly and then turned. He ran to his friends. That night, he opened the window and crawled onto the roof. He stared at the moon. The moon stared back. What are you guys talking about? Naruto asked. The moon said nothing in return. He sighed. He hadn't expected it to. Still, he wanted to see Sasuke again. Maybe he'll remember him this time. He should go in the light of the day this time when Naruto glared at the moon. When he wouldn't have to compete for attention. It was that drove him to head to the carnival alone, earlier than when it opened. Naruto wasn't supposed to go inside, but when there was nothing but yellow tape, do not enter, stopping him, how could he not slip underneath it? True, I feel that. No, it's doing it again. I just want to highlight so I don't lose my shit. Thank God it saves your place, right? He went mostly unnoticed. People were getting ready for the day and putting together piece by piece the Wonderland. That was interesting, but not what he was here for. He sped past it all. It was strange to think he'd never even seen Sasuke in a light before, but he was there, sitting with his back to one of the wooden pillars, holding up the root. The root? Holding up the root and legs stretched out on the corner. There's nothing set up, no rings, no bottles, no prizes. It looked like Sasuke was taking a sweet time. It was strange to think he'd never seen Sasuke in a light before, but he was sitting by one of the wooden pillars. Okay. Naruto walked up and casually, as if he just happened to stroll his way. He came to a stop, hands in pockets, one foot forward, other slightly to the side. Nonchalant king. It took Sasuke a few seconds to notice him, and as he's distracted by his phone as usual, he looked up, then at Naruto. There was a few beats of silence, and while Sonic is now in this. While Sasuke's onyx stare was familiar, there was no recognition in his eyes. It stung all over. Naruto cursed himself for having expectations. He's only in Sasuke's world one day out of 365. Today, however, he was gonna let Sasuke talk first. He didn't want to hear yes. That was sure to come. Let me help you set up. Naruto didn't let his face show it, but his stomach clenched, as sometimes Naruto would blurt things out and Iruka would tell him, I was forward, in the same tone. This was Naruto being forward, taking off the racetrack instead of hesitating at the starting line. I don't think you're supposed to be here. So what? So? I'm here for you, baby girl. So? Just like Sasuke had said to him in the summer before. And God, Naruto was on a roll. Sasuke considered this and then swung his legs down. You're right. If some kid wants to do my job for me, I should let him, right? Not some kid, Naruto growled, which Sasuke ignored. I'm really not. I'm a high schooler. Probably not even that much younger than you, you know? Sasuke shrugged, swinging his legs again. This time, twisting and jumping down from the other side of the counter. How? So how old are you then? I'm 17, Sasuke told him. Bitch, you ain't no 17. That's not even that much older than me, Naruto said. Oh, Sasuke said that, okay. I'm tripping, I'm stupid. Naruto said partially to Sasuke, but mostly to himself. His chest felt full. For some reason, there was only 2 years between them. Naruto could totally catch up to Sasuke in a span of 2 years. I'm 15, so I'm gonna be a sophomore. Sasuke didn't respond. He's jiggling as he unlocks something under the counter. Let me help you. Getting the prizes and stuff. If you stand on the counter, you can hang them up like... Sasuke picked up a bear and he reached up. Naruto looked at his body and Sasuke's chest and hips. Naruto wondered if he looked like that when he was 17. Like that? Naruto, he suddenly said. My name is Naruto. Fuck. Any cool he'd been desperately clinging on to slithered from his hands and right into the garbage disposal. I'm Sasuke. Sasuke said, and Naruto bit his lip. I know, he thought. I know that. I knew that shit. Fuck, yes, I got it. Bears and tigers, snakes and monkeys and foxes. Naruto's second favorite animal. He hung them all up. Then they tilted back and forth gently whenever the wind blew, which was both cute and a little weird. This little army of stuffed creatures dancing quietly in the day. Finally, Sasuke started hanging up the ones Naruto was waiting for. The snails and the frogs. The two that had brought him to the sand in the first place. He held the frog up to his face, and it was like the one he had at home. Naruto returned its smile. Hey! Naruto jumped and quickly added the frog to the rest. Yeah? Come here. I'll show you how they fuck over people in this game. Naruto fell off the counter. He was so quick. Hey. Naruto jumped quickly and added the frog to the rest. Yeah? Come here. I'll show you how they fuck over people in this game. Naruto nearly fell off the counter. He was so quick. In an instant, he was by Sasuke's side. He didn't touch him, but he looked at their arms, inches from each other. They make you put the bottles closer together. Sasuke had pulled out from the cardboard box that held the bottles and the rings both. So to win, you have to do it perfectly. He picked up a ring to show him. Naruto watched him carefully. Lower it around the bottle just so he held it in there for a moment. Naruto thought about how Sasuke's fingernails were longer than his own, which were all stubs. The rings are different heights. You can't get used to them. The rings are different heights, you can't get used to them. Naruto picked up the rings and Sasuke was right. They were different weights. He picked up every single one and stacked them on top of the middle. I can do that, Sasuke said, throwing them. I know, Naruto thought. I know you can. I know you can. I know you can, babe. That's pretty much all that Sasuke needed help with. He put his hood up and the sun got higher in the sky. Beating down, Naruto wondered if he wasn't hot, but maybe wearing a hoodie in the summer was part of being cool. The only other cool person Naruto knew was Kiba. They're kind of friends. Kiba? Alright. He was cool cross-country team. They both were shit at school. And if Naruto was the tapping of a foot, Kiba was the slamming of a fist down on the table with such a force it cracked it in half. He was wild and wilder than Naruto. Funny. Girls liked him. He was a class clown. That is so Marv, it's actually funny. Like, my friend Marv is... I always compare him to Kiba. He's so Kiba-coded. This kind of gets that energy down pretty good. Because this is... Yeah, that's kind of him. Yeah. People call me the class clown, Kiba told him that one day after a run, when they were both out of breath. This isn't what I thought I'd be in high school. It's not bad, but it's not what I thought. Sasuke was cool in a completely different way. Where Kiba wanted to please people, Sasuke didn't seem to give a damn if he pleased you or not. He never yelled, he barely spoke, and when he did, it felt like being blessed with some great wisdom. Sakura said Sasuke got weird and quiet, but Naruto wanted that for himself. He was weird and loud. You didn't want to be anyone. What? He didn't want to be anymore now. He didn't want to be anymore. Now that he's getting older, but his weirdness would push and push until it burst at its seams. Naruto watched Sasuke as he settled back into his perch at the counter. He was staring at the screen again, but he bit his lip, absent-mindedly sucking it into his mouth and then letting it go. His bottom lip was bitten pink and glossy, and Naruto watched him very closely. He'd give anything to be like Sasuke someday. I want to be cool like you, OG. You can come back tonight, he told Naruto flatly, and when he'd asked what else he could do. I have to clean everything up. You can help if you want to. Naruto did want to. When his friends showed up, he told them the daring tale of sneaking in early and scouting the carnival without anyone noticing. Sakura whacked them with the stack of tickets. He could have gotten banned for life. What would you have done then? Naruto grinned sheepishly. The carnival was in its usual working order again, ready for the rest of the world to come inside. Admittedly, Naruto lost track of time. He was really starting to feel permanent in the lives of his friends, even if he came and went to Ocean View so briefly. They treated him like one of their own. Adopted him into the dark. Adopted him into the family, and Ino took a picture with him on the carousel. The blondes, she said with a smile. They put their heads together. Naruto, sunshine yellow, and Ino's icy pale ones. Pale one? They squished into the frame and stuck their tongues out, and Ino said she texted the picture to him. It was late when Naruto finally remembered his promise to Sasuke. His friends were heading home, but he said he forgot something and then raced down the boardwalk. And when he showed up, Sasuke was already done. It felt like an empty hole in his chest. What? Empty in his chest. Sorry, was all Sasuke. Oh, sorry. Sorry, was all Sasuke said. You're all done? Yeah, heading home. Naruto nodded and walked away. He wasn't too distraught. It was one day of the carnival left. The morning still waited, another chance to help. He turned back for one last glance at Sasuke and stopped. Sasuke had said he was going home. Right in Naruto's face he had. So why is he slinking away into the darkness, towards Cobalt Beach? There were several entrances by that time, and the gates were locked and the sands were empty. So what was he doing? Naruto stared at the ceiling of darkness, and Haruka had told him the definitions of words all throughout the years. Naruto would be reading a book, or trying to, and he'd yell out a word. Haruka from the kitchen or couch in his room would yell the definition. One of Naruto's favorites had been elusive. It sounded like a snake slithering through sand. That's what Sasuke was. Elusive. No point losing sleep over it. Naruto shut his eyes. Maybe some mysteries should be left unsolved. That's something Haruka would say. He thought in the next morning as he pedaled his way to see Sasuke again. Mysteries were made to be solved. That was Naruto's opinion. Sasuke! He yelled out, startling the person running the booth next door. Sasuke looked up. Same hoodie, same messy hair. I'm here to help. Sorry, I'm here to help. How did you get in here? I climbed through the tape. Sasuke raised an eyebrow. The one that says, do not enter in all caps. Well, Naruto said with a shrug. To be honest, I felt like it was more of a suggestion than a solid rule. And then it happened. Sasuke smiled. Small, but like, he fucking did that. But it was genuine, the curl of his lips. And he was looking right at Naruto too. Eyes looking less like inky depths and more like the blackened remnants of a campfire. Still slightly warm. That is such a visual, Jesus Christ. Naruto had something, and Sasuke had smiled. He made Sasuke do that. You can do the same thing as before. Sasuke got up while the connection was broken. The moment wasn't gone. Naruto clung onto it, holding himself in it, committing to the memory, and it felt important. He did everything the same, putting up the prizes and watching Sasuke set up the game. They never touched again, but Naruto wanted to. He wanted some of Sasuke's cool to rub off on him. You'll never be as cool as him. Be your quirky, goofy self and love that. That's on love. This time, he was determined not to show up late. But he also didn't want to seem desperate. Now to spend the rest of the day with his friends. Also watching the sun lower in the sky, his eyes flickering to a clock every few minutes. All the same, ditching his friends was no simple task, but by the time he could slip away, the sky was pitch. And it didn't seem that way, with a huge full moon looking like a new sun in the sky. But it was late. It was too late again. And Naruto wanted to kick himself. Sasuke was all done. Shrugged at him. Didn't have any work to give him. And then, heading home. Those two words made Naruto falter. Maybe the night wasn't done after all. Damn, what the fuck? Still late? Sasuke, goddamn, how fast are you doing this shit? Can't wait. Naruto walked away but didn't leave. Instead, he ducked around a corner and watched as Sasuke did it again. Headed to the beach and not home. Naruto bounced on the balls of his feet. Once, twice, and then took off. Cross country wasn't for nothing. He knew a different and a faster way to Cobalt Beach. It meant running through the bushes and dodging tree branches, but he'd ran it once or twice with Sakura. Cuts and tiny tears in his clothes. He could feel them all. But he only sped faster. Naruto wanted to get to the beach first. Oh, didn't see you there, Sasuke. Well, how interesting to see you on this here beach. I didn't know you would be here. Oh, so crazy, interesting. Right? Didn't see that coming. He sighed a deep breath of relief now and then to find a hiding place. He's curious. Sasuke had kept himself elusive far too long. And truth. Naruto wanted some proof. That Sasuke was human. And just a couple of his secrets. That was it. Nothing more. There's a big pile of driftwood fairly close to the waves, but still in the sand. He waited there. For a few minutes, Naruto thought he'd misjudged Sasuke and that he wasn't coming. But then, hush fell over him. Somebody was climbing the fence, close to keep people out, and then dropping onto the sand. Naruto knew he was probably safe in the driftwood fort, but his heart still picked up a little. He could see all of Sasuke pretty clearly. He's just standing there menacingly, looking around to make sure he was alone, and then up at the moon. It's the same as before. He just stood and stared. Naruto rolled his eyes. He'd gone to the effort to break into the beach to look at the moon. To look at the moon? Sasuke stared, and then he took off his shoes and socks and unzipped his hoodie, letting it fall into the sand as he started to pull a shirt over his head. Huh? Is he going for a swim? Naruto's eyes went wide and his heart began to pound so loudly. He feared Sasuke might hear it, and he didn't. Sasuke's skin was pale in the moonlight. He was skinny, but not weak. In fact, looked the opposite. Naruto saw all of this and took it in. But he couldn't take was when Sasuke's hands went to his pants. Oh, God. Get out of there! Get out of there! Abort! Naruto had to turn away. He wasn't supposed to be here. Or be seeing this. Dude, why is he doing this? Can't people walk by or whatever? Sasuke would be so mad if he knew Naruto was seeing this, and Naruto's face was burning. His curiosity, however, was burning even more so when he let himself look back, and Sasuke was almost completely naked. It was as if he didn't care at all. Sasuke stood facing the moon, like he had shrugged off almost every layer. He stepped out of his black jeans, and his underwear was the same color. The nakedness didn't matter to him as he started to walk towards the sea. Mattered to Naruto, though, as he watched Sasuke go. I hate to see you go, but I love to watch you leave. Though, as he watched Sasuke go, his stomach started to do something funny, tighten in every slight sway of Sasuke's hips. That ass. When he ran his fingers through his black hair, Naruto nearly winced. And Sasuke walked into the waves, not too far, but he seemed to kneel, letting the water reach his neck and below, his own second skin. What does that mean? Watching over him. Naruto couldn't see his expression, but he wanted to. Did the ocean own Sasuke like it owned him? He was kneeling, and then he wasn't. And then he was walking back to his clothes. Naruto began to blush again, peeking through his fingers. Sasuke seemed to consider them, tilting his head, and decided against it. He flopped onto the sand and moved. It was this. Naruto couldn't bear. It was this couldn't look away from. Huh? It was this he couldn't look away from. Sasuke was wet all over and every inch of him kissed by the sea. Sand stuck to his body whenever it rubbed against him. Sasuke was submitting, letting it whether it wanted. Nature was having its way with him. Alright, that's a way of describing it. He ended up on his stomach for a minute or so. Face close to the ground, Naruto watched, biting his lip until it nearly bled. His stomach was getting all tighter and still. Then Sasuke rolled over. On his back? He was looking up at the moon and clearly, but he did something strange. Sasuke arched his back, feet lift slightly off the ground, only his toes dug into the shore. He tilted his head back, the black curtain of hair falling away. His fingers dug into the sand at his sides. It looked painful. How stretched he was. Like he was offering himself to the heavens. The sand was all over him, and Naruto's eyes traced its path. Down Sasuke's neck, over his chest, his stomach, and lower. The arch of his back. Around his curves, his hip bone, and up. The inside of his thighs. Damn, brother. Got it. Goddamn. That boy looking. Then he closed his eyes, and he opened his mouth, and Naruto couldn't breathe. Sasuke looked like he was feeling. Sasuke looked like he was feeling. Naruto had never seen him feel before. Not really. It didn't seem like Sasuke to let himself do that often. It didn't give into sensation or emotion, but the cold of the ocean, the rough texture of the sand. Now, Sasuke was feeling it. The salty air had the most of it. Sasuke was laying underneath it, bare. He was letting it touch everywhere, and Naruto suddenly saw envious. He felt sick. He didn't know how long it had been. How long he watched Sasuke feeling. But he jolted out some kind of trance when he stood up and shook the sand off and grabbed his clothes. And Sasuke was gone. The old one was back. He got dressed again, pulling the clothes over his sandy skin, and then turned, heading farther down the beach. It's far enough away. Naruto ran. Ew. You feel the sand on your skin? Oh, that's terrible. Terrible. He ran through the trees, feeling nothing, to his bike, and then he rode through the darkness as fast as he could. Naruto wasn't thinking. He was riding. He was hoping as slightly as he could. The steps, sneaking back into his aunt's house. He was forcing himself onto the bed and staring at the ceiling, catching his breath. Naruto hadn't meant for that to happen, and Sasuke hadn't meant for him to see that. What was that? What had happened? One time he had Kiba over his house and Kiba showed him some videos. Naruto knew what porn was, but he knew that he wasn't supposed to watch it. Or Ruka would take his phone until he was 30. But Kiba's phone was fair game. Naruto hadn't really liked the videos that much. They just weren't for him. But Sasuke was different. Like, Naruto's aching to know why it was different. Why his stomach felt like that. Felt hot, uncomfortable. The way the porn was supposed to make him feel. Why couldn't he get the image of Sasuke out of his head? Not only could he not stop thinking about what he'd seen, he couldn't stop adding to it. What if, when Sasuke opened his mouth, noise had escaped him? What would that sound like? And when his hands were against himself, what did his skin feel? Slick? Soft? Naruto's mouth felt dry and he twisted into sheets, trying to ignore the reaction his body was having. The moaning is supposed to be hot, Kiba told him. When Naruto asked why the girl in the porn is making exaggerated noises, he shrugged just like before. It wasn't for him. The kind of sex just wasn't for him. Naruto knew hot things, knew hot people, but whatever once that was wrecking his body was a completely different animal. It's the heat. he thought absently, blame it on the heat, because he knew the truth. Sasuke on the beach, dripping wet, sand on naked skin. That kind of sex, that's the kind of sex he wanted. And once he made the leap from wanting to be like Sasuke to just wanting Sasuke, everything was easier, and the floodgate opened. Naruto wanted to kiss Sasuke hard, pressing him against the wall, and whoa, whoa, pressing his tongue in his mouth, and he wanted Sasuke to kiss him back too. He wanted Sasuke to kiss him on his mouth, and his neck, and his collarbone, and his chest, and then down, and he wanted to touch everywhere the sand touched. He wanted Sasuke to moan while he did it. Most of all, he wanted Sasuke to say his name. Say my name. Naruto's breathing fast, heart rattling his chest and his body aching. It wanted to be pressed against another, but more than that, it craved release. He turned, his face pressed into the pillow. Well, yeah, he's at that age. This is normal. He's at that age, you know? Before it even started, he knew he wasn't going to last long. Naruto wasn't in the bed. He was on the beach. He didn't care that he wasn't wearing clothes, just like Sasuke had. And Sasuke was just like in his memory, back arched. But this time, he wasn't staring up at the moon. He was looking up at Naruto, blushing. And that's what was making him feel. Naruto's making him feel. What? Naruto's making him feel. Naruto was the kind of sex he wanted too. Naruto turned, taking a huge bite of his pillow, and Sasuke's name was completely muffled. But he still felt it in his mouth, and it nearly burnt his tongue. His chest heaving as he let himself come down, slowly, and his eyes were wide. Never in his life has he felt something like this. Damn it, mouse. Can Iruka be gay? Can Iruka be gay in this? I would love for Iruka to be gay. He has such lovely gay dad energy. Because no straight man can be as good as him. Never in his life had he felt this way about someone. There were girls at school that he thought were pretty, and guys in movies he thought were cute. But usually when he thought about sex, there wasn't someone it was attached to. It wasn't something he actually wanted. By tomorrow night? And you know what? I can empathize with that, because very similar in that fashion where it's like, if I don't, how do I say this? If I don't have a person in mind, like if there's nobody in my personal life that I can, you know, I don't know how to describe it, but like, I don't know, if I'm not like attracted to somebody in a sense of like enamored or whatever, it's like, I don't know, sexual stuff is pretty rare for me. Because it has to be someone I like know, and it has to be somebody that, you know, I don't know. I guess what Naruto is saying is similar. By tomorrow night, Naruto would be back in the city at home, but he probably wouldn't be thinking about anything else soon. It would probably linger around his mind, occasionally screaming out for his attention. And he'd probably think about it on purpose, too. At night, his face blazed in the darkness. Memories of his time here were often glow dull throughout the year. But this night would be vivid for a long while. Naruto's breathing had returned to a steady rate, and it was only then he'd noticed. There's a slight emptiness in him. It felt like the town had changed, and the carnival in Cobalt Beach, all of it. Ocean View was different. He washed his hands in the bathroom and took a long scalding shower. Tried to sleep it away, but the change was irreversible. He knew why, too. Naruto still loved the beach, and he always would, but not with the same childlike wonder as before. See, he just couldn't forgive it for touching Sasuke the way that he simply just could not. Chapter 4. Something to Remember Me by Year 16 by Heimai. This time, a 16-year-old. This was a new impression. Hold on, sorry.